Hi, my name is Dan Anderson, and in this video, you'll learn how to make profits every 30 minutes using the StockPair platform. Now today is Wednesday the 11th of June, and it's 2:22 p.m. As you can see, I've got $3,826 in my account. I've made this amount over just the past 2 weeks, and right now I'm going to show you exactly step by step how this system works, so you'll be able to trade exactly like I do using this system. The first thing you need to do is we're going to click on the Trading tab. I'm going to select the Euro USD currency pair, but you can really select any currency pair available. And as you can see here, you have what is called the sentiment tool. What this is a social trading tool, and it tells you what direction the majority of traders are trading at the moment. Now, the easiest way to explain this tool is to really compare it to Facebook likes. If you see a lot of people liking a certain page on Facebook, then you know the page has something in it. Well, this tool works for me exactly the same way when I'm trading. I choose to always follow at the same direction the majority of traders are trading using the data I collect from this tool. Now, it doesn't mean that the majority of traders will always be right, but you'll soon learn how my strategy will cover all sorts of situations which you might encounter while trading. Okay? So, the first step of the system is we check the direction of the majority of traders using the sentiment tool. As we see here, we've got 3% of traders saying the price will go up and 97% stating it's going to go down. So, right now as the tool shows, the majority of traders are saying the Euro USD is going to go down. So, I'm going to follow them. I'm going to trade with the put or down button. Now, my second step here is entering the amount. We'll select Other and we'll enter the amount of $12. We'll click Buy. We'll hit View Position, and we're on. Now again, as I said earlier, even though we're trading the Euro USD, you can trade any currency pair that you feel comfortable with. Let's take a moment and look at the currency pair that we're trading. Right here, we've got the currency pair, we've got the investment, the rate of the currency pair I'm trading, we've got when the trade will expire, we can see the payout, which will be $21.24, and that's a 77% return on our investment. Now, since we're trading 30-minute trades and it might get a little boring for you to wait, I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back to you before the trade expires. Welcome back. The trade we submitted earlier is now going to expire. Here we can see the payout for the trade again, and that's $21.24. Now, no matter what happens here as we wait for the trade to expire, the key thing is to not get excited no matter whether your trade's going to win or lose. See, it doesn't really matter. You're always trying to look at the bigger picture, and this is really important for me to emphasize. If you're here to just win one trade, well, you're in the wrong business. You need to try to keep your emotions separate from your trading session and just concentrate on the strategy. Remember, as long as you're trading at the same direction as the majority of traders, you know you have an advantage. And that advantage is that you are a consistent trader who's sticking to one strategy and not deviating from it just because you might feel like it for a moment. Now this trade was successful. I won the $21.24, and that means I've made a profit of $9.24. Our account balance up here will automatically update in real time, so you can see our new balance. Now I can check my trade history at any time, and I want to show you that right now. So if I click on the My Account tab at the top of the screen, then click on the Trade History button, well, you're going to see a list of all my trades that I've submitted. It shows all the information regarding all the trades we've done. So let's scroll right down to the bottom of the list. And here we see our winning $12 trade that we just submitted together. Now we've got a lot of information about the trade here. We've got the amount we traded, the currency pair, the execution time, the rate, and as you can see again, this was a winning trade, so we also see the payout amount. In this case, it was $21.24 for a profit of $9.24. Now, since I won the last trade, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with step 1 all over again. So we'll click back up into trading. I'm going to stick with Euro USD. I'm going to look at the sentiment tool and see what direction most traders are trading. As you can see, 82% saying it will go up, 18% saying it's going to go down. So we're going to stick with the majority. We'll click on the Up Call button. We'll enter the amount of $12. We'll click Buy. We'll click View Position, and we're on. We're trading. Again, down here, we'll see all the information regarding the current trade. Now, if I win this trade, I'll simply go back to step 1 and 2 again and continue making these small $9.24 profits. And these are going to add up to a nice amount of money as long as I don't lose a trade. And since I'm trading in the same direction as the majority of traders, it can take a little while to lose a trade and it might get a little boring for you, but don't let this tempt you into deviating from the system. Once I lose a trade, I'm just going to move on to step 3. And what does step 3 involve? Well, it involves a $28 trade, enough to recoup the $12 loss from the first trade, the $28 investment of the second trade, and still generate a profit of $9.56 on top of it all. And we'll stay in the black. Now, I do hope this trade will be an unsuccessful one, not because I like losing, but I simply want to have an opportunity to show you the full steps of the system. Now, a lot of traders ask me, can I use this strategy to trade on different platforms? And the simple answer is yes, you can try. But you should know each platform works a little bit differently. And I've only tested this particular strategy with the StockPair platform. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again and be back with you in just a few moments. All right, welcome back. Now, the trade we submitted earlier is now going to expire. And now this was a losing trade. You see the payout is 0. I'm going to check my trade history again. We'll click on the My Account tab at the top of the screen. Okay, let me go ahead and click on the trade history up here, and you're going to see a list of all my trades that I've submitted. We'll scroll right down to see our trades. You can see the payout here was 0. This was the losing trade that we were waiting for. So I'm going to move on to the next step. We'll click back to the Trading tab. All right, now because the last trade of $12 was a losing trade, I'm immediately moving on to step 3, and I'm submitting my second trade of $28. So we check the sentiment tool, and as you can see, the majority of traders are saying it's going to go down. Now, if you really stop to think about it, the sentiment tool is a tool which gives you an insight into what other traders are doing. See, they did all the homework for you. They got up in the morning, they read graphs in the newspapers, they made their analysis for the day, and you just get to sit there taking advantage of all of this information. You only worry about managing your investments correctly. Now, it's true that traders could be wrong, but even if you lose a trade here and there, you can still recoup your investment on the next trade. Remember, try to keep the global picture in perspective. Okay, so let's focus back on our trade. We'll go up here and we'll click on the down put button. We'll enter the amount of $28. We'll click buy. And then we'll hit view position, and we're on. We're back trading again. So we'll scroll back over and we'll look at all the information regarding the trade again. We'll see our payout, $49.56 if we win this trade. And now earlier in the video, I mentioned that you cannot make any changes to the steps. And there's one exception to this rule that will work and could make you a lot of money. See, you can increase the value of the trades for each step by a factor of 10 or 100. So for example, step 2 is our $12 trade. I could replace this with a $120 trade. Step 3, our $28 trade, I can replace with a $280 trade, and so on. And I'll show you an example of this at the end of the video. But first, let's talk about an important point about this strategy, especially when you're trading binary options, and that's the speed at which you enter into the trade. As soon as you lose a trade, don't hesitate for a second. You have to quickly follow up by continuing on to the next step in order to recoup your loss and catch the currency fluctuation. And I'm going to show you an example of that at the end of the video. But for right now, let's go ahead and pause the video again, and I'll be back before this trade expires. All right, welcome back. The trade we submitted earlier is now going to expire. It looks like it's going to be a winning trade. We can see the payout here, $49.56. And if we look up here, we can see the account balance has automatically updated. So let's go ahead and just check the trade history again. So we'll click on the My Account tab. Then we'll click on the Trade History button, and again we've got this list of all the trades that we've submitted. We'll scroll right down and we'll see our first $12 trade, which again in review was a losing trade. Next is our $28 trade. You can see we won that trade with a payout of $49.56 and an overall profit of $9.56. So what do? That's right, we're going to start with step 1 all over again. So we'll click back up to the Trading tab. We'll select Euro USD. Look at the sentiment tool real quick. We see what direction most traders are trading. We've got a 47-53 split. So we'll click on the down put button and go with the direction of the traders. We'll enter the amount of $12. We'll click buy. We'll hit view position, and we're on to the next trade. Now again, over here is where you can see all the information about the trade, but we're going to pause the video for just a couple minutes, and we'll come back to it before the trade expires. Talk to you soon. Welcome back. The trade we submitted earlier is going to expire, and there it goes. This was a losing trade. Notice we've got a 0 payout. We'll check my trade history again real quick. We'll click on the My Account tab at the top of the screen. We'll click on Trade History button, and we've got our full list of all the trades that we've done. And if we look at the bottom of the trades, you can see our payout was 0, and this was a losing trade. So what are we going to do? Yep, as quickly as possible, we're going to move on to the next step, which is step 3. We'll click back up on the Trading tab, and since the last trade of $12 was a losing trade, our step 3 is a second trade of $28. We'll check the sentiment tool real quick. We can see the majority of traders are saying it's going to go down. We'll click on the down put button, enter the amount of $28. We'll click buy, we'll hit view position, and we're on. We'll look over here and we'll take a glance at all the information regarding our trade. We can see the $49.56 payout if we win this trade. And let's take this time to discuss what might be the next trade, and that would be step number 4 if we lose this trade. And if we lose this $28 trade, our next trade will be a $70 trade, and that's going to bring in a profit of $53.90. That would be enough to cover our $40 in total losses from the $12 trade and the $28 trade, and we'd still make a profit of $13.90 on top of it. Now, as you can see, I'm always taking into concern the possibility of a loss as well as a win, and I'm always prepared for any situation which I might encounter. This way, it doesn't matter whether I win or lose, and it doesn't affect my emotions, which is crucial when trading. Let's go ahead and pause the video. We'll come back before this trade expires, and I'll talk to you soon. Welcome back. The trade we submitted earlier is now going to expire, and it looks like it's going to be a losing trade. You can see the payout's 0, so this was another losing trade. We'll click on the My Account tab. We'll click on Trade History. We'll scroll down. We can see the $28 trade. We can see it was indeed a losing trade because we can see that the payout was 0. So immediately, I'm moving on to that next step that we just talked about. So we'll click on the Trading tab. Again, selecting Euro USD. We'll look at the sentiment tool to see what direction most traders are trading. As you can see, 43% are saying it's going to go up, 57% are saying it's going to go down. So we'll click on the down put button. We'll enter the amount of $70. We'll click buy. We'll hit view position, and we're on. And we'll quickly take a glance at the trade information. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is patience, and sometimes there has to be a lot of patience in trading. If I check all the currency pairs available and I see that ranges are too tight, for example, the sentiment tool is indicating that 50% are saying it's going to go up and 50% are saying it's going to go down, I don't want to trade that currency pair. And what I want to do is I want to look at the currency pairs available because I want to trade with the majority of the traders following the sentiment tool. I don't care which currency pair I'm trading, so if Euro USD is 50-50, I don't trade it. But if Euro Pound is 70-30, I'll trade this currency pair instead. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and pause the video again. I'll come back to you before the trade expires. Welcome back. So great, it looks like this trade is going to be an unsuccessful one. Now, not that I'm happy about it, but for the sake of this video, I really did want you to experience the full steps of the system. And since I'm trading at the same direction as the majority of the traders, well, it can take a while until I actually get to the last step of the system, because the majority of the traders don't tend to be wrong so many times in a row. Yes, okay, this was a losing trade after all. We'll go ahead and click on My Account. We'll click on Trade History. We'll scroll down and we can see the $70 trade we submitted, and it was indeed a losing trade. So I'll quickly prepare for the next trade of the system. Now, this trade should come in because, as you've probably seen from the earlier parts of the video, it's unlikely that the majority of the traders will be wrong so many times in a row. And this trade should cover my losses from before and add a small profit on top of it as well. So we'll click on the Trading tab. We'll select Euro USD. We'll look at the sentiment tool. Now remember, the sentiment tool is the most important point to this trading strategy. Don't skip it. This is very accurate. You must always check the sentiment tool for every trade you submit using my strategy. And with StockPair, because they have so many people trading at the same time on their platform, the sentiment tool can be a very reliable tool to use. As you can see, 1% of traders are saying it's going to go up and 99% are saying it's going to go down. This is a great split. So we'll click on the down put button. We'll enter the amount of $150. That's our step 4. We'll click buy. We'll hit view position and we're on. We'll look over here and we can see we've got a $150 trade open. Now this trade is very likely to win with that split that we saw, and since I've been trading at the same direction of the majority of the traders, and since I've been consistent during my strategy, along with the fact that the majority of the traders really don't tend to be wrong that many times in a row, this trade should come in. This trade, if it wins, will pay out $265.50. And that's going to help us out in a number of ways. We'll recoup our $12 loss from the first trade, the $28 investment of the second trade, the $70 from the third trade, the $150 from the fourth trade, and we'll still generate a profit of $5.50 on top of it, and we'll still stay in the black. How great is that? Okay, so this trade's going to expire exactly at 6:05, and since we're trading 30-minute options, I'm going to come back just before the trade expires. So we'll pause the video once again. I'll be back with you in just a few moments. Welcome back. Okay, that trade we submitted earlier in step 4 is now going to expire, and there you go. The payout is $265 for this trade. You can see our payout for this trade will be $265.50. I'm going to check my trade history again. I'm going to click on my account. I'm going to click on trade history. And again, here is a list of all of my trades that have been submitted. This shows all the information that we need to know. So let's take this opportunity to review all of our steps again. Here was the first trade for $12. We had a put down trade. This trade had a 0 payout because it was a losing trade. Our second trade for $28 was a put down trade. This trade also had a 0 payout. It was a losing trade. Then we've got our third trade for $70. We created a put down trade, and this trade had a 0 payout as well because it was a losing trade. So then we moved on to step 4. That was a $150 trade. It was a put down trade, and this was the winning payout. We got $265.50, and that gave me an overall profit of $5.50. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start all over again with step 1 and 2, and I'm going to submit my first trade of $12 all over again. We'll go back up here. We'll take a look at the account balance. It's automatically updated, and I now have a balance of $3,850.30 using my strategy. Alright, I mentioned earlier in the video that you can increase the value of the trades for each step by a factor of 10 or 100. Now doing this seriously increases your profit by a factor of 10 and 100, and once you get the hang of this, I would highly recommend you implement this. For example, in step 2, we've got the $12 trade, and what I can do is I can replace this with a $120 trade. Step 3, our $28 trade, I can replace with a $280 trade, and so on. So instead of making just $9.24 on your first trade in step 2, you would make a nice $92.40. Now I'm going to show you exactly how you do this. I'm going to submit a trade at $120 at step 2 instead of a $12 trade like we've been doing. You can see up at the top my account balance is $3,850.30, and it's 11:52 a.m. on the 12th of June. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the trading tab. We'll select Euro USD. As you can see, 8% of the traders are saying the currency pair will go up, 92% are saying it's going to go down, and since we're working with 30-minute trades with my strategy, we're going to make a slight change here. So we're going to click over here, and we're going to change this option and select in the next 30 minutes. Now the majority of traders are still saying the price is going to go down. So we'll click on the down put button, enter the amount of $120 here, click buy. We'll hit the View Position button, and we're on. Now down here is all the information regarding your trade. We can see when the trade will expire, which is 12:24, and since we're trading 30-minute options using this strategy, like before, I'm going to step aside for just a moment, and I'll come back before the trade expires. Okay, so we'll pause the video again, and I'll be back with you in just a few moments. Alright, welcome back. I had a trader contact me this morning and he said, what if the trade ties? Well, what this means is you don't win the trade and you don't lose the trade. The expiry value of the trade was exactly the same as when you entered the trade. If you tie on any steps other than the final step, you just continue on to the next step. If you tie on the final step, then you simply return back to the first step. Okay, so we're back to the trade that we submitted earlier, and it's going to expire soon. It looks like it's going to be a winning trade. The payout will be a whopping $212.40, which will give me an overall profit of $92.40. So let's take a moment and check my trade history again. We'll click on the My Account tab. I'm going to click on the Trade History button, and here you're going to see a list of all the trades that have been submitted. This shows all the information regarding all your trades. Here, you can see the trade for $120, and we created a put-down trade. This was a winning trade, and the payout was $212.40, and that gave me an overall profit of $92.40 in just 30 minutes using the strategy. Now remember just a couple of things. I'm trading the Euro-USD currency pair, but remember, you can trade any currency pair available. And for those of you who still aren't sure whether this system works or not, what I suggest you do is pretty simple. Just open an account with StockPair and give it a try for yourself. You're going to find that watching these videos, and this video especially, has pretty much prepared you to start making money right from the start. You've seen exactly how my system works. You know what to do in case of a loss or a win. Now all you need is the experience of doing it on your own. And soon, you'll quickly understand what a great opportunity trading binary options with my system is for increasing your monthly income from home, on the beach, or even from McDonald's. You can do this wherever you happen to be with your computer and an internet connection. So I just want to encourage you, give it a shot, sign up for your free account today, and see what happens.